tried to check out where they're at. They're going to be short on funds, but we can move some stuff around. We'll get most of it accomplished. But
it's a principle.
yeah, it's the fact that.
Oh yeah, over at South Africa. Well, she likes it. Yeah, that's
Regarding 911 dispatch.
Hey, Dwayne, so then we're not having, so we can't have the public hearings?
We'll have to public for the 911. And then we'll approve, go ahead and approve the first reading.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. All right.
Everybody I know is
Good evening. It is 6:25 p.m. Monday, April 5th, 2021. I'm Mayor Chris Martin, calling to order the appropriations hearing regarding the 911 dispatch, ordinance 2021-09. Do you have any public comments? All right. Wait a couple minutes. Seeing no comments for the appropriations hearing regarding 911 dispatch, ordinance 2021-09, we'll close the appropriations hearing at 6:27 p.m.
Scott, you didn't get the call for tonight, huh? Pardon? You didn't get the call for tonight's sport?
enjoy it on TV.
Hey, I'm sure you can enjoy it this way. You can. We worked, it feels like it was on three guys. I'm only going to use like this. There's 1,160. Well, it depends on the wins on things. I mean, these guys are both tied. Who was the rest of the score? Yeah, we're closest to the transaction scores. Yeah, but I could have won $140 in this league. Now I might get money because we just give me $20. West Virginia was already out.
Strange here.
Well, they could. Houston, they're up on this one. Baylor's defense is pretty good. But did you see that?
That's crazy.
So what your guys is doing on those ones.
I'm trying to choose because I can't.
Oh, you really? UCLA.
Due to the weather.
They were
Next Saturday.
in the past few years, they created the four things around the bubble. And eventually, UCLA was the first team everything was first sport and get to the It's pretty well.
We're gonna set them on that.
We got rerouted. We missed the flight. So we went, I got to Detroit. I remember back when Mother was really good. I don't know, it's not much. 40 minutes. One yeah.
I'm pretty sure they all very
Sure. Right.
I remember feeling vindicated.
Just for new.
So you got like,
Good evening, it is 6:30 PM, Monday, April 5th, 2021. I'm Mayor Chris Martin, calling to order the Logansport Common Council regular session. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Amy Denthorn?
Present.
Very good.
Present.
Jonathan Alves?
present.
Jason Bond?
Present.
Scott Peety?
Present.
Bruce Bear? Absent. Carl Pearson? Absent. Dave Morris?
Present.
Start with the approval of minutes for the March 1st, 2021 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris?
Yes.
Scott Peety?
Yes.
Dave Goodall?
Yes.
Jonathan Alves?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Amy Denthorn?
Yes.
All right. First, want to congratulate Councilman Morris on his new grandbaby. Congratulations. And then tomorrow ends the tomorrow ends the mask mandate in the state of Indiana, and so it will no longer be mandated. It will only be highly suggested. So I just wanted to give an update on that. We have reports from committees, boards, and commissions.
There was a Finance Committee meeting on April the 22nd. I believe just about everything under new business was covered at some point during that Finance Committee meeting, as well as we had our initial discussion on trash. So that's it.
We had a Planning and Economic Development Committee meeting on March 22nd, discussing the property at 411 Cliff Drive, discussion on the Jefferson School property transfer, and city-owned lots on 6th Street.
Any other reports from committees, boards, and commissions? All right. Anyone in the audience who would like to come forward, have anything they would like to say? Seeing none, moving on to old business. Ordinance 2021-03, Councilman Nelson.
Ordinance 2021-03, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, approving the expenditure of incentive funds for Titan Bat Company LLC. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2021-03.
Second.
Any further discussion? Keep in mind this is the second reading for ordinance 2021-03. Call for question.
Jonathan Alves?
Yes.
Dave Morris?
Yes.
Dave Goodall?
Yeah.
Amy Denthorn?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Scott Peety?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-03 passes on its second reading. New business, Resolution 2021-118. Councilman Hood.
Resolution 2021-118 is a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, authorizing the additional expenditure of the Common Council of the City of Logansport miscellaneous funds for the payment of an air monitoring study contract. Mayor Martin, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2021-118.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Scott Peet,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jonathan Mills,
Yes.
Jason Dodd,
Yes.
Amy Dennis,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-118 passes. Resolution 2021-119. Councilor Dinsmore.
Resolution 2021-119, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing funds for payment of insurance expenses related to the non-reverting Logansport Health Insurance Fund. I'd like to move this forward for a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Jason Dodd,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Scott Peet,
Yes.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Jonathan Mills,
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-119 passes. Ordinance 2021-105. Councilman Morris.
Ordinance 2021-05, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending portions of the salary ordinance for appointed officials and employees, ordinance 2020-28. Move this forward for a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion?
I would just say that I've heard between the time this was discussed in the committee to now, potential discrepancies with some of the people this would affect. I'm not going to name who for privacy reasons, but I'm just putting it out there that there are some that I believe this affects that see it in a negative aspect.
Do we need to make a motion to table this for further discussion? Or do we want to push it ahead for a vote?
It'll require two.
Vote for a vote.
It'll require two approvals.
Two approvals, okay. 'Cause I
So
would-
if we pass it today, we still have to pass it again. So I mean, it'll be at the May council meeting if we just pass it this one time, and we can discuss it further, and then you can reject it the second time.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Amy Dennis,
No.
Larry Hood,
No.
Dave Morris,
No.
Jason Dodd,
No.
Jonathan Mills,
No.
Scott Peet.
No.
Ordinance 2021-105 does not pass. Ordinance 2021-06. Councilman Peet.
Ordinance 2021-06, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, for additional appropriations for the continuation of the 50/50 sidewalk program. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2021-06, please.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Larry Hood,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Jonathan Mills,
Yes.
Amy Dennis,
Yes.
Jason Dodd,
Yes.
Scott Peet.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-06 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2021-07. Councilman Ladon.
Ordinance 2021-07, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, appropriating funds for the completion of the MSRP grant. I ask for a vote on ordinance 2021-07.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Scott Peet.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Jonathan Nellis.
Yes.
Jacob Don.
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-07 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2021, or is that the second reading? That is the first, okay. Ordinance 2021-08, Councilman Nellis.
Ordinance 2021-08, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, for additional appropriations for the continuation of the Employee Assistance Program for public safety workers. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2021-08.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, can you clarify again what this is for?
The appropriation of funds,
Mm-hmm.
it's for the, line item for the public safety workers to be able to get, additional health, supplementation for like mental health and counseling and things beyond what we normally do.
Okay, I thought under the city insurance now they had that availability.
There is, I believe, four visitations or four consultations that can be done. But if they want to go beyond that, or if they want to go out of town, then this is what that's for. So, yeah.
But I also thought they had special services that through like the fire department that allowed them to go out of town.
That's what this
This
is.
is what this is.
This is that.
This is what we had set up in the past, and it just wasn't not funded this year by mistake.
Okay,
So
so
we're
this is what
appropriating-
we've always done,
Yes.
but we didn't have it. Gotcha.
Right.
Any further discussion? Call for questions.
Dave Moore.
Yes.
Jonathan Nellis.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Scott Keith.
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Jacob Don.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-08 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2021-09, Councilman Wood.
Ordinance 2021-09 is an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, for the appropriation for the final payment of the City of Logansport's share for the establishment and maintenance of the Cass County Central Dispatch Center for 2020. Mayor Martin, I ask for the first vote on ordinance 2021-09.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I would ask council to consider waiving the rules on second reading for this so we get this paid. This is actually from 2020. So to get it paid, I'd like to get it out, get it done and out of the way, rather than wait another month.
Okay. Call for question on ordinance 2021-09, first reading, please.
Jonathan Nellis.
Yes.
Scott Beatty.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Jacob Don.
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-09 passes on its first reading.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll second that.
Call for question on suspension of rules.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Jacob Don.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Scott Beatty.
Yes.
Jonathan Nellis.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 2021-09, second reading. Any discussion? Call for question. Motion.
I'll make a
I'll make a motion to
Geez.
approve.
I'll second.
My game today. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call for question.
Very good.
Yes.
Jacob Don.
Yes.
Amy Dennis.
Yes.
Jonathan Nellis,
Yes.
Scott Beatty,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-09 passes on its second reading. Ordinance 2021-10, Counselor Dinsmore.
Ordinance 2021-10, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, appropriating monies for the installation of a fitness court at Riverside Park. I'd like to move this forward for a vote.
Second.
Any further discussion? Jan is in the audience. If anyone has any questions for Jan.
This isn't time sensitive in any way, is it?
Yeah, we do regular,
All right. Any further discussion? Call for question.
Jonathan Nellis,
Yes.
Scott Beatty,
Yes.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Jacob Dodd,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Larry Hood.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-10 passes on its first reading. Ordinance 2021-11, Councilman Morris.
Ordinance 2021-11, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing the Land and Water Conservation Fund, Fund number 405, for use by the Logansport Parks Department for construction at Riverside Park. I move this forward for a vote.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Jacob Dodd,
Yes.
Amy Dinsmore,
Yes.
Scott Beatty,
Yes.
Jonathan Nellis,
Yes.
Larry Hood.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-11 passes on its first reading. Any public comments? Anyone who has anything to say, please come to the mic, state your name and address for us. Seeing none, council member comments.
Yeah, I've got a couple. Just wanted to inform the council that the Economic Development Commission that we placed Jeff Aslan on, that committee has now been filled. The mayor's selections were Cindy White, Sean DeWitt, and Mike Fincher, and the county's selection was Councilman Damon Foreman. So that committee has now been formed, and I think Bill will be in touch with them when the need arises. Also, as we discussed, I believe at the Finance Committee meeting, we're looking at having a special public hearing for the trash fees on April the 19th, 2 weeks from today, and also following that up with a special council meeting, at which time we'll have the first vote on the trash fee. So that starts at 6:30 on April the 19th. Delaney's done a public ad for that, and I just need to send the notice to Mandy. She's already got the time blocked off for that. That'll be the first reading for the trash, proposed trash fees. And the other is, we're in need, the county has been in discussion with the city, Kelly, the mayor, myself at some point, but we need to hold an executive meeting to discuss the memorial home. So I was hoping that this Thursday would work for everyone. Is that possible? Would that work for you, Amy?
I'm not available Thursday.
Do you have any days? It would have to be next week then, because we don't want to do it on Friday, or
Because I use stats for the baseball team, so I have to check. I don't know what days the games are on.
Could you see if you're available next Monday and let me know?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have everybody there for that discussion.
Yeah, I'd like to be there because it's in my ward.
So, let me know, and we'll try to shoot for Monday then on that. And I want to talk about something here, and I just feel like it needs to be said. We turned down an ordinance for a modification of the payroll for this year. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was inclined because the administration had come to us and talked with us about the possibility of I actually thought I'd vote in favor of it. But a couple hours ago, I read the minutes from last week's Board of Works meeting, and I was a little disappointed, to say the least, at what I read in there. And I'm saying this publicly because the Board of Works meeting is a public meeting, and my name was brought up in that meeting as having been in discussions with the mayor about the hiring of an additional fireman before that meeting. I had never discussed any involvement with the mayor. I did after the fact when Dwayne and I met with him afterwards. But before that time, I never met with the mayor in any capacity to discuss hiring an additional firefighter. And I want that to be clear to the council, because I don't want them to think I've been in discussions with him about things that I wouldn't share with them. Since that time, we've talked about it. I understand the plight of the fire department working short a guy for a couple of years. I worked at a place where we were always short of help, and it sucked because you were always having to work days you didn't want to work and work longer days than you wanted to. But to implicate me as a way to possibly help that be passed that day is disappointing to me, to say the least. And Dwayne is working on crunching the implications of hiring him on this year's budget. So, with that being said, if the mayor wants to respond in any way, that's his prerogative. But I want to make that clear to you guys.
Just for council heads up, I know Dave's calling an executive, or wants to call an executive meeting next week on Monday. I'm probably going to call an executive meeting on the public safety part next Monday as well. It's just things for the future. Council's already received information on a SWAT vehicle, another information that we're something else that we might be looking into would possibly be if and when we get the money from the COVID, possibly purchasing a tanker truck with that. There again, nothing written in stone, just something to throw out to possibly use with some of that money. So there will be a public safety meeting next Monday. I doubt if it's very long, but I have both fire chief and police chief in doing a presentation on both their parts. So just heads up. Time has not been set yet.
Okay.
Thank you, Larry.
So if we set that up on Monday, you want to just follow the executive session?
We can, yeah.
Okay.
If that being the case, if it's good with you guys, I'm looking at probably 6 p.m. for the public safety meeting. I'm thinking we could probably get through it in probably a half hour or less.
Okay.
It's more of an information type.
Can you be here at 5:30 if we have the executive before that?
Yes. It'll be tight, but I'm not going to guarantee anything.
Okay.
We can always move mine a little bit if you want to do that. If you want to have the executive meeting first, we can do that.
I think so. That way, like if Kelly wants to go there, he can go. And
Talked about having a walk through.
oh, that's true. Yes. I'm sorry. What we thought we'd do to give people a perspective, maybe we'll have yours first if you think yours will be a half hour, because we can kind of discuss the numbers here then, Kelly, and then we can walk over. We think it'd be advantageous for people to get a feel for what the inside of the building looks like. I know Jake toured it recently, and some of you have been in it in the past, but I think it deserves a good look over before we make any recommendations on how to go forward.
I'm available Monday.
Okay. All right, I'll get that advertised in. You want me to just send me what you want to put on yours, Larry, and I can have Mandy write them both up at once if you like.
And like I said, Rick, you can probably do your part in 15 minutes, I'm assuming 15 minutes. And I know the police chief could probably do the same thing too, so.
I had a question on the trash. Next time we're gonna meet, are we gonna discuss that further?
Yes.
Okay. We haven't said anything in stone on the amount of.
Got proposals, but nothing's that's in stone.
Okay. Very good.
So,
Okay, thank you.
I just have something to say. Gift cards are available for Logansport residents at the Salvation Army and at the MA Center. If anyone's struggled due to COVID-related issues, they can stop in at either the Salvation Army or MA Center and fill out an application and receive a gift card or two.
Do we know how that's going?
It's been a slow rollout so far. Not that many have been handed out.
I don't have any informational thing to put out. I would just offer my congratulations to Councilman Morris for the new addition to his family.
number 11. Yep.
Any other council member comments? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Call for question.
Dave Moore?
Yes.
John Bell?
Yes.
Dave Don?
Yes.
Amy Dencore?
Yes.
Scott Stevie?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
We are adjourned at 6:55 p.m. Thank you.
Dwayne, you want to put this back in Carl's father or brother-in-law passed away. He's in Louisiana.